Sweet potatoes, a tropical warm season perennial crop originally from South America, known as batata or camote, are grown as an annual in the U.S. According to the United States Department of Agriculture statistics in 2021, the country's sweet potato production exceeded 1.7 million tons, generating $726 million in revenue. One state in particular stands out as the top producer, accounting for 61% of all U.S. sweet potatoes, North Carolina. In 2022, North Carolina dedicated around 84,000 acres to sweet potato cultivation, resulting in a total production of nearly 15 million CWT, valued at $225 million. Today, let's delve into the process of how they harvest 1.7 million tons of sweet potatoes. Pre-harvest. Sweet potato storage roots are susceptible to skinning, which renders them unappealing to consumers. Excessive skinning and bruising also shortens the root's shelf life, leading to spoilage or shriveling during storage. Consequently, farmers take every possible measure to minimize skinning and bruising. One critical cultural practice, conducted 2 to 3 weeks prior to the harvest, involves removing vines and foliage. This promotes skin set and reduces skinning during the harvest. Preparing soil and transplanting. Successful sweet potato production hinges on good soil aeration, which is achieved through proper field selection and bedding before transplanting. By incorporating pre-plant fertilizer and creating raised beds, farmers ensure optimal conditions for the sweet potato plants to thrive. The beds should be installed to provide an 8 to 10 inch rise in height after settling and transplanting. When it comes to soil type, sweet potatoes can grow well on various soils, but excel on fine sandy loams containing approximately 1% organic matter. Good internal drainage and a soil pH of 5.8 to 6.2 are also essential. Ridging plays a crucial role in promoting optimum drainage, particularly during the later stages of growth and development, when the storage roots of many cultivars are most vulnerable to souring. Souring refers to physiological breakdown caused by oxygen depletion and excess carbon dioxide buildup associated with waterlogged soils. Early planting is a key factor responsible for achieving high yields. Field transplanting should be done as soon as possible after slip pulling. In cases where slips need to be held for several days before transplanting, the best practice is to plant the bottom end of the stems into moist, soilless growing media in plastic containers. By following this method, slips will begin to root out after a few days and can be held indefinitely. It's important to cull weak and spindly slips to maximize yield. It's worth noting that sweet potatoes are not grown from seed, but rather from slips, which are sprouts grown from existing sweet potatoes. To ensure high yields of disease-free roots with excellent quality, the use of sound planting material is crucial. Organizations like the North Carolina Crop Improvement Association and the North Carolina Foundation of Seed Producers, Inc. administer excellent programs that ensure the annual availability of true-to-type and disease-free slip stalks for commercial production. Slip stalks are typically pre-sprouted at 30 degrees Celsius and high relative humidity for approximately 4 weeks before bedding to enhance sprouting. Bedding involves either manually or mechanically placing slip stalks on raised beds to improve drainage. Most slip stalks are treated with a fungicide, and the beds themselves are treated with an herbicide. In cases where soil-borne diseases are suspected, it's recommended to cut sprouts about the ground rather than pulling them. Harvest. Sweet potatoes do not ripen or mature in the same way as most fruits. Physiologically, small sweet potatoes are as mature as the larger ones, and they continue to grow as long as they're left in the ground under suitable growing conditions, including proper temperature, moisture, and nutrient levels. However, it's crucial to harvest sweet potatoes before the vines are killed by frost or when the soil temperature drops below 13 degrees Celsius. In commercial operations, there are primarily 2 methods for digging the storage roots. The first method involves using a chain digger, which picks up the storage roots along with the soil. The soil falls through a moving chain, while the storage roots continue and fall behind on top of the soil. The second method employs a disc plow that turns the soil, exposing the storage roots. Both methods require constant close supervision to ensure that all the sweet potatoes are carefully removed from the ground, accurately graded, and handled gently to minimize damage. Riding harvesting aids have gained popularity among farmers as they help keep laborers together and alleviate some of the drudgery associated with the work. However, they do not significantly reduce the overall labor requirements. The harvested sweet potato roots are dug and elevated on a horizontal conveyor, where they're separated from the vines and graded by hand into appropriate containers. Farmers and workers use gloves to minimize skinning and damage during the handling process. Curing and storage. Post-harvest conditioning, particularly curing, is crucial to enhance healing, reduce losses to decay and moisture loss, and improve the culinary attributes of sweet potatoes, such as sweetness and flavor. Immediately after harvesting, sweet potatoes undergo a curing process by placing them in a room with a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and a relative humidity of 85% to 90% for a period of 5 to 7 days. It's important to ensure that the curing storage rooms have fans to ensure uniform distribution of warm, humid air, and vents to maintain appropriate oxygen levels. Curing helps expedite the healing of wounds that occur during harvest, preventing shriveling and reducing the risk of rot during storage. Moreover, it enhances the taste, aroma, and texture of the sweet potatoes by converting starches into sugars. The aesthetic appearance of the storage roots largely depends on how quickly they're subjected to curing conditions to develop a new skin similar to the original. Delaying the curing process may result in the drying out of wounds, leaving unappealing scars on the sweet potatoes. After proper curing, sweet potatoes are most stable when stored at temperatures between 13 to 15 degrees Celsius and maintained at around 50% humidity. Temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius can lead to chill damage, resulting in the deterioration of flavor and color. Chilled sweet potatoes are prone to rotting and disease. Conversely, if the storage temperature is too high, the respiration rate increases, depleting starch and causing pithiness. Inadequate humidity can cause wilting, while excessive humidity can make the sweet potatoes more susceptible to mold. Under the right storage conditions, properly cured sweet potatoes can be stored for over 6 months. It's essential to keep the roots in a dark, cool place after curing to prevent sprouting. Extended storage at temperatures above 15 degrees Celsius can initiate sprouting. Some farmers reduce the relative humidity to promote skin set and toughness before washing and packing the sweet potatoes for delivery to markets. Yield. Several factors, including variety, location, and management practices, influence the sweet potato yield and the proportion of root sizes. With acceptable management practices, yield can range from 150 to 350 bushels, 50 pounds, per acre of U.S. No. 1 roots, which are the preferred size for fresh markets. It's ideal for 50% to 60% of the harvest to consist of U.S. No. 1 roots, resulting in a total harvest of 300 to 700 bushels per acre. Typically, growers separate and classify the remaining sweet potatoes into small roots, known as canners, with a diameter between 1.5 and 2 inches, and large roots referred to as jumbos, with a diameter above 3.5 inches. Under exceptionally favorable conditions and with proper irrigation, southern states can achieve total yields of 800 to 1,000 bushels per acre. In the United States, sweet potatoes are primarily cultivated for fresh market sales, with approximately 30% being canned, and smaller amounts being processed into pre-cooked, dehydrated flakes or frozen products. Fresh market sweet potatoes undergo grading based on size, shape, smoothness, and freedom from defects. This rigorous process ensures that consumers receive sweet potatoes of exceptional quality. The hard-working American farmers dedicate their efforts to harvesting sweet potatoes every year, providing us with the opportunity to enjoy delicious sweet potato delicacies on occasions, such as Thanksgiving. Their commitment to soil preparation, meticulous planting techniques, careful harvesting, and proper curing and storage allows for the production of high yields of top-quality sweet potatoes that meet the demands of consumers. That concludes today's exploration of how American farmers harvested 1.7 million tons of sweet potatoes. Remember to appreciate the dedication and skill that goes into bringing this delightful crop to our tables. Until next time, take care and goodbye.